Good morning, it's Crafty Homemaker here. This morning we're going to have a go at making some white bread rolls in the skillet. So I've got this new machine my husband bought me for my birthday. It's not a make, it's a no make if you like. I bought it off eBay. It's a dough mixer. It was about £60. That's it inside. It's got a hook that goes in there. I've just took it out for a minute. So first of all we're starting off with is I'm blooming my yeast. I've got a cup of warm milk, I've got 2 1/4 teaspoons of yeast and 2 teaspoons of sugar, and I've mixed it all together and I'm just leaving that to bloom now for about 10 minutes, and then we'll come back and put the rest of the stuff on. Right, as you can see, the yeast has bloomed. Now I did tell you it was 2 teaspoons of sugar. It's actually 2 tablespoons. I will put it in the description anyway when I do it. So there's your yeast bloomed. I've put the hook in ready to go. This is all locked in. Turned it on. It says off, but obviously I've put the electric on. Right, now one thing you've got to remember when you're doing your bread or rolls is different makes of flour rehydrate at different sort of like things with water. Don't know how to describe it, but it went up very well of describing it. So you might need more flour, or you might need less to what it says. But at the end of the day, what I do is put it in, and once you know how your dough should look, you should be able to master any sort of bread, because you will know, apart from sourdough is a different story, but normal bread in your bread machine or anything like that, if you get the texture right of how it should feel, and it makes sure it's not too dry, not too wet, you're well on your way of getting some decent bread. So I've got my flour here ready. Look, I've got bread flour. It's 3 cups of bread flour or all-purpose plain flour. So we're going to put that in, and we're going to put all the ingredients in, and then we're going to switch the machine on. So let's put the flour in, and if we need any more flour, I shall add more flour. If it feels dry, I shall add more liquids, and so forth. And that's the best way of doing it. If you watch how it goes. Sorry, you're going to hear me crash things around now. I've my selfie stick's upstairs and I can't go up and get it until my granddaughter comes down. So I'm doing this, holding it with one hand. Right, so that's all the flour in. So next thing we need to... we need 4 tablespoons of butter, but you can use... I'm using that. Margarine. You could use oil, olive oil, vegetable oil, butter, whatever you want to. So I need 4 of these. I think I'm probably going to have to pause you while I do this with one hand. 1 minute. Right, that's the 4 of the margarine that I've put in. We want 1 teaspoon of salt. I've got this salt my son gave me, was given. So you could use any salt. You've got table salt, Himalayan salt, whatever you want. So we want 1 teaspoon of that. So sprinkle that in. And this recipe asks for 1 egg. I always crack my egg in a cup, so at least if it's something wrong with it, you haven't ruined all your ingredients. We'll stick that in like so, and then to move that out of the way, and on the machine I'm gonna knead it, I think, for 15 minutes. So you press knead dough, it comes up 10 minutes. So this is the plus side here, so we're going to go 15, and then over here you've got a start button. So let's press start and off we go. Right, there we go. I'm going to pause just for a minute and grab some more milk so that I'm ready to add more if my dough looks dry. So hang on a minute. Well, if anything, my dough appears to be quite wet. So what we're going to do, I've got some flour on the standby. I'm just going to sprinkle some flour. You just want to do it a little bit at a time. Not go too mad to begin with, and let's see what happens. Let it mix. You don't want to make it too dry, so let's put a bit more flour. And this is what you'll do until you get it to the consistency it should be. It should basically be in a nice bowl, and clean the bowl as it goes round. You should be able to, sorry, I'm just grabbing more flour. You should be able to touch it. Maybe a little bit tacky, but not wet. Right, a bit more flour. Here we go. Give it a chance to mix in. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you put too much flour in, because then you just got to put more liquid in again, you know. It's getting there now because it's starting to thing, so we don't want much more now. Just put a little tiny bit in there. We're getting there now. There it goes, mixing round. Right, I'm going to have a little feel of that. Be careful of the thing. Yeah, it's a little bit tacky, but it's not really coming off onto my hand really as such. Looking pretty good. I might just do a little tiny sprinkle and call it a day, I think. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, a little bit more. Yeah, I think that's about it. See? See how's that's all coming together? See? So now this has got like 13 minutes left, so that's going to give it a nice knead. It should be like a smooth ball by the time it's finished. But we'll come back and I'll show you it when it's been doing that for 12 minutes now. But it would have been on for 15 minutes. Right, I'll get back to you in a minute. Right, we're on the last 3 minutes now. This does have a lid on it. There's the lid on. Still going round. Now, when you come to get this out, if you still felt your dough was still a bit sticky, all you've got to do is, look, I've already cleaned the worktop. It's all been cleaned. I've got my flour out ready to put the dough on, because at this point what we're going to do is just shape it into a nice ball, because it's going back in that machine for it to prove for about an hour. So just put flour on the side. If it still was a bit sticky, it's like my puppy's jumping up for me to catch her. You could add more flour at this stage. Just, you know, do it until you feel like it's all right. So yeah, we've got 2 minutes left. What I tend to do is, once this comes out, I will scrape out the pan, obviously, shape it into a round ball. I'm going to take the paddle out because we don't need that in while it's proving, and I use some sort of oil, and I oil the bowl to just make it easy to turn out when it's done. So yeah, we're just getting on the final stage now. I don't know how easy it's going to be for me to try and show you this one-handed. So what I'm going to do is get the dough out. I'll show you it actually. If I take the lid off, there we go. So we need to scrape that out of the pot in a minute. So you need to be careful. It's not, you know, it's good consistency. Once I've got it out on the flour board, I'll put it in a bowl, and then I'll show you what it looked like from then, and then we'll get it ready to go back in the pan. Right, I've oiled my pan, washed it out and oiled it ready. I just use olive oil because I had it nearby. This is what my dough looks like. It's a little bit sticky, but that's fine. We're going to put it in some flour now and turn that into a ball. Right, perfect, just like that. Now we're going to put it in the machine, and we'll be putting it on to proof. So let's pick it up best I can with one hand, plonk it in there like that, and then on here we've got rest dough, so we're going to push that, and that's up to 90 minutes. We don't want it that long. I think it's probably about an hour. It needs to at least double in size. So if we do it for 60, so that flashes like that, then you press start. Put your lid on, and we'll leave that to do its business, and we'll check it in an hour, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like. It's been an hour. Put some flour on the side. Obviously make sure the side's clean, your hands are clean, etc, etc. And this is our dough. Ready, look at that. So that was in there an hour. That's full of air now. Boop, boop, boop. Right, so now we're going to tip it out. There we go. Now putting the oil in there does help it from sticking. So this warms it up as well. It warms the dough. Right, we can turn that off now. Right, now, I think you can see me alright. I'm going to bash that down. I think I'll get that further back. Get the air out of it. So, I think the main thing when you're doing your bread for the family or rolls, whatever you're going to make, if you've got a dough scraper, probably be even easier. I don't know where mine is, so I'm just going to go for it. Is enjoy making it. It hasn't got to be perfect. It tastes good, and that's the main thing. So I'm going to eyeball the size of mine and sort of do them as much as I can. So we're going to cut them into little pieces. So I said this is for my family. It's all about doing it with a love for your family, not about being a professional chef. And this is what it's all about, doing these videos. Right, so I've roughly cut it. So now I'm gonna make it as best I can into a little ball, like that. If any look really a lot bigger than the others, then I'm gonna share it out. But you see how they go, that's not too bad. Another one. Now I'm going to cook mine in my skillet. You can use any pan you got. You can put it on a baking sheet. If you've got a cast iron casserole dish, any dish that can go in the oven that you can bake it in, whatever you want to. Cake tin, whatever you got. That's it. I said it's got to be, hasn't got to be perfect. So they taste good. And your family appreciate that you've made them for them. And that's the main thing. I mean, my skillet might be a bit big here. I don't know. I haven't long got it, so I just wanted to try it out. Right. When you first get your dough out, I should have said this earlier on, if your kitchen's not that warm, because it does affect your rising, because we're going to do this the next rise in a minute. So I'm just going to do them as best as I can, give them a little thing. So I'm going to put one there. I put the light on in my oven because I've got no central heating here, because I live in a little granny annex. So it doesn't get overly warm in here. So I put the light on in my oven, and that the light from the oven will help. So you haven't got your oven on, you've literally just got the light on. Will help to prove them again, because we want them at least a double in size, and it depends how long that takes, but you know, could be about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, something like that. So like that. So you know, we haven't got bad little balls there. Look, all right. I'm pushing them all the way around. I think I'm going to be all right actually. I haven't got them touching because they are going to get bigger. I'll spin around like that. Another one. I've got to put these in here. Let's got to fit these two in. But like I said, the main thing is enjoy making it. I'm not worried about being as perfect as a chef. This is just home cooking. Don't panic about it. So many people worry about it. You'll be alright. You can do this. They come out a bit imperfect. Just rust it, is what I always say. You rust it. Right. As you can see, mine are touching a little bit, but that's the biggest pan I've got. Right. Mine are all in here. So I'm going to say it's going to probably take between 30 and 40 minutes for them to double in size. then I'll pick you back up then and we'll have a look at them. Right. Okie dokie, right. Mine have been in there for 30 minutes. Let's get them out and have a look. There we go. Ooh, looks pretty good to me. Right, I'm going to put my oven on now. Now, I've got a little small oven because I live in a very small, well, granny annex actually. So I have to have mine probably on about 180, something like that, with mine. So you probably know your oven better than mine. I'm going to egg wash mine. So it's just an egg with a little bit of water. I'm going to gently, because we don't want to get all rid of any of the air that's all in there. Look at that. Now they're stuck together, but that's okay. That's okay. Right, all round. There we go. One's in the middle a bit squashed, but that's all right. Won't matter. Got some smaller ones, that's all. I mean, if yours hasn't puffed up this much, leave them a bit longer, that's fine. You know, how long it takes to them to rise. It depends, like I said, on the environment, on how warm it is in your house. So I'm doing that very gently. Now I'm going to put some sesame seeds on some of mine, but not all of them, because my husband's not that keen. And he's going to have a burger in his roll tonight. So I've got some sesame seeds. And I'm just going to sprinkle some on it there. There we go. I've got some on the other ones, but it should be alright. Maybe that one as well. There we go. Yeah. I think they look nice on there. There we go. They shouldn't take that long to cook. Anything from, I suppose, about 15 minutes. It depends on your oven, but I mean, you're going to keep an eye on them. You can check the temperature of your bread. I think you're going to have to look this up. It has to be about 82, the inside temperature, and that means it's cooked inside. If not, you can do the tap test carefully, because obviously it'll be hot. Turn it upside down. I mean, tap it on the top, obviously, first, when you think they're ready. And then if you can get one out and tap the bottom, if it sounds hollow, it means it's cooked. So I'm going to put mine in the oven now, and then I'll tell you how long mine takes. But like I said, it could be different and whatever your oven is like. So let's put mine in now. And we'll come back and I'll tell you how long mine took and show you what they're like when they're cooked. Yeah, welcome back. Well, I checked, I keep a thermometer. This one I only use for my yogurt and for bread. So I've got a meat one that I use separate. It's not this one. My bread's just over 88 Celsius. So it's got to be between 88 and 90, I believe. But check that online, please. Like I said, mine's took about 30 minutes, but I've got one of them worktop ovens. You can probably see the door open here. So it does depend on your oven. Here we go. They smell gorgeous. Smooth that. So I'm going to put it down. There we go. Look at those. What I'm going to do is, you can melt your butter first, but I don't see the point in melt as you put it on there. Give the top ones a little, the ones without the sesame seeds on, we'll give them a little brush with butter. Well, mine's spread. I don't only buy butter for making cakes, really. Put them on there like that, so it brings a nice shine on it. Like that. Like that. Like that. There we go, put a nice shine on it. Ones with seeds on, I'm not going to do that. I normally put baking paper in there because it's a lot easier to then just lift it out and leave it to cool, because you don't really want to break your rolls apart until they're cooled down. So let's get it out of the skillet, and then at least they can be cooling down, and we can open one up when it's cool and see what it's like. All right. mean, this is just all about baking at home for your family. Not fancy, not chefs or anything, just baking at home. Let's put that there like that. We're going to do that then. They smell divine. Right, I'm going to put my skillet in there so I don't touch it, because that's what I forget to do. So let's put that in there. Out of the way. So we're going to let them cool down. Can you hear that as well? That's another indicator that your rolls are, if you haven't got a thermometer ready, and if you can get to the underneath and tap the underneath, they should be the same. See? Hollow. You hear that? Yeah. Oh, look at this. Look, we can pull one apart. I mean, it's best to do it when they're cool, but look at that. Look at that. But we'll come back when they're completely cooled, cut one open so you can have a look and see. They smell absolutely delicious, and see what they're like. See you soon. Hi guys, it hasn't been a while yet, it's just that I want to get on and do some other bits that I need to do, so I thought I'd just come back on now and quickly show you. But look how soft that is. Look, look, absolutely divine. So I hope you try this recipe. Again, like I said before, it's not about, it's got to be perfect. You're cooking for your family, so long as you enjoy cooking, they enjoy eating it, that is the main thing. Thank you for joining me today. I will put the recipe in the description. Hopefully I wasn't too confusing, because I didn't plan on doing this video and I thought I needed to make some rolls, so I thought I'd quickly do it. Also, the machine I showed you, if you've got a bread maker, it'll work in the bread maker. Just do the dough setting, take it out when it's done the whole dough course, knock it back, punch it down, flatten it, make your rolls, and again you'd leave it to rise again. So, and you can pick bread makers up on Facebook. I've had a few. I think I've paid £5. I think one of them was like brand new in the box. So many people buy them and don't use them. Or if you've got a mixer, that's completely up to you. I just find it easier using the machine instead of using my hands, because it hurts my hands after a while. Well, I hope you found this video useful, and I hope to see you again when I do some more cooking. And take care. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Bye.